TomoNews presents Pepper Spray.
JPX Cobra spray gun to replace taser and pepper spray in law enforcement. Texas law enforcement agencies are looking to bring in a new pepper spray gun that boasts greater accuracy and efficiency than other weapons currently in use. The JPX Cobra 450 shoots out a concentrated mist of OC solution made of water and cayenne pepper. The mixture measures at 400,000 Scoville heat units, several times hotter than a jalapeno pepper. Already widely used in Europe, the gun has a laser pointer and an effective range of up to 23 feet. The thick pepper agent shoots out at 400 miles per hour and takes effect within seconds, producing an intense burning sensation at the contact point. Traditional pepper sprays are not as powerful and certainly less accurate than the JPX Cobra. The new weapon is also believed to be more effective than the taser, which often malfunctions when its prongs dislodge. The taser also knocks people unconscious, causing victims injuries as they fall. A shot aimed at the face is said to be completely incapacitating, with effects that last between 30 and 45 minutes. Considering an upgrade from your pepper spray, this Swiss-made gun is currently available to consumers for $200. Each cartridge starts at $33.
Cop maces a teen for being a teen. It's a crisp late autumn Friday night in Phoenix City, Alabama, and that means one thing. Are you ready for some football? Last week's game between Central High and Prattville may have been decent on the field, but apparently most of the action took place on the sidelines. That's because a Phoenix City policeman with an apparent anger management issue along with an inferiority complex totally maced the kid for giving him some back talk. It's the last play of the game, and as you can see here, these guys are making plans to meet up somewhere afterwards, when suddenly a police officer gets into a squabble with a student, backs him up into a railing, and then pulls out his mace and sprays him in the face. He's then led out of the stadium into the parking lot where he was detained. Wait, what just happened? Okay, here's the play-by-play. In the beginning, these two officers here are trying to keep everyone from falling over the railing. Now, the cop in the ski mask is apparently having a heated discussion with one of the boys here, later identified as 17-year-old Cameron Rader. Later on, he would say it was because he laughed after the cop in question told him he wasn't the, quote, police officer he should be effing with. At some point, Rader turned around to talk to a girl behind him, and the officer suddenly lashed out, pushing him through the crowd and pinning his hands down. Rader said the officer told him he had pushed him, but Rader denies it. Then the officer pulls out his pepper spray and spritz him in the face. Phoenix City police officials are withholding the identity of the officer, which is kind of an easy job since he was wearing a ski mask. Several witnesses, including a county councilman, have stepped forward saying Rader did nothing to provoke the kind of force shown by the officer.
Man avoids being pepper sprayed by using his own son as a human shield. Scranton, Pennsylvania police on Thursday charged Taryn Bodie with using his son as a human shield in an ultimately unsuccessful attempt to protect himself from an officer's pepper spray. It all began after Bodie apparently got into an argument with a teacher at the school of one of his sons. When things escalated, an officer was dispatched to calm things down. Bodie allegedly put his hands on the officer, who unsurprisingly next placed him under arrest. In an attempt to avoid being cuffed, the 35-year-old got creative and used his son for protection. When the officer pulled out some mace, Bodie hoisted the kid up and began using him as a human shield. When reinforcements were called in, the authorities eventually managed to get their man. Bodie's since been released on bail and faces a number of charges including assault, resisting arrest, and endangering the welfare of a child.
Oklahoma police pepper sprayed 84-year-old woman in her home. On the night of August 7th, Geneva Smith was in her Muskogee, Oklahoma home when police showed up to arrest her son.
Show me your hands! Put your hands up! Hands up! Keep them right there! Stand up! Stand up now!
Her son, 56-year-old Arthur Blackman, had reportedly run a stop sign. After refusing to pull over, Blackman ran into his elderly mother's house, where police tracked him down.
Do it now! Come here! I'm gonna tase you! Do it now! Man, get down! Get down! Get down!
When one of the officers tases Blackman, about 5 more cops storm through the house. They grab the startled 84-year-old Geneva Smith and yell at her to follow instructions. When she refuses to be manhandled in her own home without an explanation, Officer Michelle Cassidy threatens to spray her if she doesn't cooperate.
Turn around and face that way now, or I'll spray you. To the police. Hey, yeah, hey, man. Hey, my mama's 84 years old. Hey, man.
When Smith drops down to the floor, she is handcuffed. Smith and Blackman were then taken to jail, where Blackman was charged with driving under the influence, obstructing an officer, driving with a suspended license, and carrying a weapon. Geneva Smith suffered a panic attack and had to be rushed to hospital. No charges were filed against her.
Black teen pepper sprayed by cops in his own house. North Carolina's finest pepper sprayed a black teenager after mistaking him for a burglar in the home of his white foster parents. 18-year-old Deshaun Curry has been living with Ricky and Stacy Tyler and their 3 kids for the past year. Stacy Tyler left the side door of the house unlocked on Monday because Deshaun was coming home early from school. When Deshaun walked into his own house, one of his awesome neighbors called 911 and reported a break-in. Hold up, a burglary in broad daylight? That makes sense. So 3 Fuquay-Varina police officers showed up at the house, much to Deshaun's surprise. They was like, "Put your hands on the door," Deshaun said. I was like, "For what? This is my house." I was like, "Why are y'all in here?" The 3 stooges then pointed to the pictures of the Tyler's 3 younger kids who happened to be white, assuming that he didn't belong there. Naturally, Deshaun got angry. An argument broke out, and one of the brave cops pepper sprayed him in the face. When Deshaun's mother came home, she found Deshaun being treated by EMS in her driveway. She then informed the 3 amigos that Deshaun was her foster child. Good thing to know, we have police that don't jump to conclusions.
Seattle cop pepper sprays teacher at MLK rally. The Martin Luther King Day celebration in Seattle brought thousands of people into the streets to march in remembrance and to continue in the efforts of the civil rights leader. Things got nasty when protesters tried blocking traffic on State Route 99 near Seattle Center. 20 people were arrested. Jesse Hagopian, a teacher at Seattle's Garfield High School, was there to participate and present awards to students leading the Black Lives Matter movement. Upon leaving the stage, Hagopian walked through a crowd of protesters on his way to his 2-year-old son's birthday party. He had just made a call to his mom when he was doused with pepper spray, compliments of the Seattle police officer. The active ingredient in pepper spray is a white substance called capsaicin, which is extracted from plants of the capsicum genus like chili peppers. And it burns like hell. I felt the piercing pain shoot through my eye, Hagopian told KIRO7. When Hagopian finally arrived home, his mother was so concerned that she filed a complaint with the Office of Police Accountability. Hagopian and his attorney James Bible, together with the NAACP, then filed a $500,000 claim against the city. Hagopian was pepper sprayed irrationally by a police officer. No provocation and no reason, Bible told KIRO7. We view this as a challenge to free speech.
Bodycam footage shows black man tased and pepper sprayed. Patrick Newburn Jr. was in his parked car in the parking lot of a Lucky store in Blytheville, Arkansas on Easter, March 27th, when he was approached by an officer wearing a body camera. The officer wanted to write Newburn a citation for playing his music too loud. But Newburn attempted to flee the scene in his vehicle. Another officer also on the scene stopped Newburn before he could leave the parking lot. What happens next has been debated all over social media. The 2 officers forcibly pull Newburn from his vehicle.
Bro, I'm about to get out the car. Hey, look. I got metal in me. All right. Look, hey, my bracelet, bro. All right. Hey, hold on, man. Hey, nigga,
That sound you're hearing is Newburn being tased. As Newburn and the cop wrestle with the taser on the ground, the other officer proceeds to pepper spray Newburn in the face. A crowd gathered around, heckling the policemen. The entire footage lasts about 30 minutes. Newburn was arrested and charged with a violation of the city noise ordinance, fleeing by vehicle, and resisting arrest. Following the incident, Newbern posted the full body camera footage on his Facebook, writing that he is protesting in front of big court. But Newbern's post was met with mixed reactions. Some are supportive of his efforts. Amber Miles wrote, "This is bull. Officers knew better than to treat him this way. What happened to civil rights?" While Calvin Gunby wrote, "This is crazy. Turn the music down. This doesn't have to happen. No one is above the law." The NCAAP is asking that the Blythefield officer be disciplined after the body camera footage was released.
Driver gets window smashed and maced after taunting other men. When you head out on the road in Florida, you'd better think twice before acting on road rage, because if you don't, things could get ugly fast. In February 2017, in Daytona Beach, two motorists got into a heated argument from their cars, causing one of them to step out of his Ford truck. Uh-oh. Feeling threatened, the man in the BMW convertible hit the man with a face full of mace. But the guy didn't back away before kicking his car first. That must have sent the driver of the BMW over the edge, because he then got out of his car, pepper spray in hand, and approached his adversary's vehicle. The closed window did not stop him. With a fist like that, a couple good strong punches will do. And they did, leading to more pepper spraying. This dude was not messing around. After suffering another pepper cloud, the driver of the truck popped his trunk and pulled out a lead pipe, which he tried to use as the Beamer sped away. The lesson here, if you are prone to road rage, you might want to pack something to back it up, because you never know what the other guy might surprise you with.
Dude, this is a major,
Woman uses pepper spray on bus. Do not underestimate the power of this little thing. One single spray and everyone is in tears. On Monday, a woman surnamed Song had a fight with a teenage girl on a packed bus. The girl ripped Song's necklace, and a furious Song took out a pepper spray from her bag and aimed it at the girl. The gas spread throughout the air-conditioned bus and made all passengers cry. When the bus stopped, the girl washed her eyes with water. Some passengers started vomiting. The passengers stopped Song from leaving and reported to the police. 21 passengers were sent to a nearby hospital. They were worried that they might be poisoned. Song apologized, but how could the angry passengers forgive her? Song is now detained by the police. Meanwhile, the teenage girl had fled the scene silently.
Teenagers spray pepper spray on train causes terror attack panic. What or who could have caused this chaotic stampede? The answer is two teenagers who decided to have some fun and use pepper spray on a running train in Guangzhou. The acrid smell of pepper spray and smoke quickly filled the train, and passengers fled the train for fear of terrorist attacks. Some netizens pointed out that panicked passengers rushed to first car of the train and at least 11 people were injured. Eventually, the crisis was resolved thanks to the police, who found the pepper spray. Eyewitnesses said one of the teenagers has a tattoo on his hand. The incident stirred up a lot of discussion on Weibo.
Someone did this to create panic on purpose. This should be investigated properly.
The security should enhance security in busy public places. Train service resumed shortly after a temporary suspension.
Whoops! A young German nightclubber could face charges after mistaking pepper spray for a can of deodorant, causing mayhem. The assailant, a 20-year-old woman, was out on Monday night at a club in Würzburg when she and a friend stepped into the bathroom to freshen up. She reached for the deodorant in her friend's bag, which also contained pepper spray, and you know which one she grabbed. The non-lethal weaponized spray wafted through the bathroom and into the club, triggering an evacuation. At least 2 women sustained eye injuries. The young woman was left red-faced, and police say she may face charges of negligent bodily harm.